Alright, it's been a few weeks since people stopped caring about the Battlefield 6 cheating stuff, so I thought this was the perfect time for me to make a video. Now let's start with the most famous clip that everyone has already talked about.
Wow, I flicked straight at that guy through the wall. Oopsie.
They flick straight at the guy's head through a rock, and then they start firing when they can't see anyone. Then they say, flick straight at that guy's head through a rock. Oopsie! Maybe this VTuber has like the cognitive processing power of a supercomputer, and they can calculate the exact height that their head's gonna be using the minimap. But no, it's cheating. But I'm not just gonna be looking at Riley's clips today. I'm gonna compare and contrast their clips with a true and honest hero of the gaming community. Someone with more than 10,000 hours in first-person shooters. This guy owns a Rolex, okay? You've gotta take him seriously. Now, unlike that rock clip Riley posted, let's look at some actual pro-level gameplay. Now, to a short bus rider, it might look like Shroud knew that guy was there through the wall, perhaps due to cheats or something like that. What's actually happening here is superior game knowledge. Call of Duty or Battlefield, or whatever fucking game this is, has a set number of spawn points. And even though that player was running Ghost, so they didn't show up on the radar, and they made no sound because they were an AFK player that wasn't moving, Shroud used his superior game knowledge to know that someone would spawn there, and he started firing through the wall to kill them. Unfortunately, the wall was cheating, so he didn't get to wall bang them like he does in CSGO all the time. So he had to round the corner and actually shoot the AFK player normally. So I hope Infinity Ward patches the game so the walls stop cheating to make Shroud look bad.
Pretty good smoke there, and indeed, Mixwell getting picked off the bomb. Pretty good smoke there, and indeed, Mixwell getting picked off the bomb.
Now to a layman, or perhaps an idiot, it would look like Shroud's mouse auto-locked on that guy through a wall, and then he tracked him, and then he flicked his mouse away trying to regain control from the aimbot. But you guys just don't understand. What's actually happening is he's using Yoo-hoo bullshit to see through that guy's eyes, and then he is triangulating his position based on what he's seeing through his computer monitor. And then that double flick, where he's sort of unlocking from that guy's position, that's him resetting his nervous system to prepare for optimal play. Like when Henry Cavill has to reload his arms in that one movie. But cooler, because Shroud did it. Hey Riley, I didn't see you dying in any of your clips, huh? Now let's look at some of Riley's flicks, so to speak. Flicks, snaps, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Oopsie. Oopsie.
So unnatural. There's nothing human about that fucking movement.
Okay, this clip's pretty funny. As you can see, Shroud's shooting the guy through the squeaky door, but he can't shoot through either side of the squeaky door. He can just shoot through the door, or he can shoot through that wall straight ahead of him, right? So only those two things can be shot through. That's why his crosshair locks on his first target and then jumps to his second target and actually hits him through the wall, because he can't hit his first target.
Sorry, that wasn't meant to be in there. I don't know how that clip got in there at all. Don't listen to anything that idiot said. He sounds like a Republican. Here, let me show you what a good snap looks like.
What's that guy doing looking up there?
So it might look like Shroud saw a guy through that wall, and he snapped directly onto him. But what actually happened here is a combination of over 10,000 hours of high-effort FPS gameplay and superior map knowledge. The snap is just from peak human reflex. That's how he always moves. And the fact that he looked up at that specific spot where a guy was hiding even though no part of his body was visible, well, that's just superior game knowledge. Everyone knows that in PUBG, people hide behind that specific pillar all the time. And Shroud wasn't going to let some scrub get the drop on him. It's just high-level gameplay, guys. If you're like some kind of mouth-breathing cuckold it might look like Shroud's aimbot snapped that guy through a wall. What actually happened is, Shroud was just checking the smoke, dude. As you can see, a half second later, he put 2 shots into the smoke,
Oopsie.
which proves that he was just checking the smoke. It was not him covering for his aimbot. And even if it was, that just shows that he's really quick-witted and clever, and he deserves to use an aimbot, okay? He deserves that Rolex. Stop calling him a cheater. Stop it. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. Especially you, RileyCS, whatever your name is.
It's gonna be close. Guy behind us down. Yeah, I saw him. 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Oh my god! Inhuman reactions!
Alright, so we saw a couple guys through like the thinnest sliver of pixels on the planet, but that's just Shroud's superior eyesight. You guys wouldn't get it because you wear glasses from being nerds or whatever, but Shroud actually has 20,000 by 20 vision. So it just makes sense that he could see that. Like, of course he can. You just wouldn't get it because you're bad at the game and you're coping. Okay? Stop. Also, if you see any orange text, that's not me. A lot of these clips are hard to find, so I got them from a YouTube channel called Karma2, who posted a couple videos saying, clips that make it look like Shroud might be cheating. I don't condone anything in orange text, alright? That's ridiculous. It's absurd. This Karma2 guy probably doesn't even have a Rolex.
What the fuck? I missed my nade. It like went right. What the hell? What the fuck? I missed my nade. It like went right.
This does kind of look like there's some aimbot program pulling his aim to the right, where an enemy actually is. It looks like Shroud is throwing a grenade at a spot where an enemy is not, and then the aimbot is pulling him to the right where an enemy actually is. Twice in a row, and then he pretends to not know what's happening. What actually happened here is in an alternate timeline, a version of Shroud died to that enemy from the right while he was throwing a grenade. And the shame of being killed by a scrub in PUBG, a game Shroud is absolutely the best at. The shame of that sent shockwaves throughout the space-time continuum. So that shame resulted in the right hand of this timeline Shroud to be pulled to the right twice in a row, warning him that if he didn't snap onto that enemy, he would experience something horrible, losing in PUBG. If you're some kind of skeptic and you think that's less likely than Shroud using like cheats, I don't know, you're probably poor. You've probably never even seen a Rolex. You're probably some VTuber, alright? You're probably some VTuber using like a cat avatar, okay? Quit coping. Now this Riley cat VTuber or whatever used a hand cam to prove that they weren't cheating. First of all, their hand movements don't precisely line up with the snaps they're showing off, so it's just complete bullshit from the start. What most people don't know is that Shroud, the king of FPS gaming, the king of CSGO, actually did use a hand cam himself at one point. This is why he makes the big bucks. This is why he's a millionaire.
Thanks, kitchen. Nice.
Now once again, ignore the orange text. This Karma2 guy, I had to use his footage because for some bizarre reason these clips are really hard to find. But as you can see, and the hand cam proves it, of course it does, Shroud snaps onto that guy like the pro he is, boom, headshot. One and done, baby. Riley, take notes, that's how you do it, alright? Your hand cam is bullshit, this is what a real hand cam looks like.
Here, rocking the sporty band. I know that's not everyone's style, but I really like it. I'm a fan of the sporty band. Little oyster flex? Little oyster flex, baby? Ooh, I love it. I love it. I bought it for 26. Yeah, 26 and some change there. Wow, a lot of you guys are fucking assholes. What the hell? You guys are rude as shit. What a waste. You're an idiot. Fuck you. What? Come on, bruh.
Now look at that handsome watch right there, that clamshell. And all the plebeians seething in chat. The unwashed serfs seething at the noble Shroud. He has the noblesse oblige to show them something that fine, and they spit on his generosity by saying he's showing off. 26 and change, because a man of this caliber doesn't count anything under $1,000. Now I think that's enough to prove my point. RileyCS, if somehow this happens to get back to you, or even a supporter of RileyCS, I just want this to prove to you that cheating doesn't get you anywhere, okay? Shroud is a famous millionaire because of his integrity, because of his virtue. And maybe if you have some of that integrity and virtue, you can have a clamshell Rolex just like him. But until you demonstrate that virtue, you're just gonna be a VTuber, okay? I think you should apologize to Shroud, really, for thinking you can be on the same level as him. He has over 10,000 hours and high-level FPS gameplay. Alright, and what do you have? That's right, a VTuber model. Apologize. Don't take anything I said in this video seriously, because there is no cheating in Battlefield 6. It has the secure boot system, so cheating is impossible. So if it seems like I implied Riley cheated at any point, that's just not true, because secure boot wouldn't let that happen. Not to any of us. So if you care about justice, be sure to like, subscribe, and slam the like and subscribe button, okay? Poggers.